Hello everyone, I hope you are as better as before and enjoying your online classes and revising the chapters. So let's proceed to our English literature and our poem 1. The road not taken. Here the road means path and not taken means which you have never walked on that. So, this poem is written by Robert Frost. He was born in 1874 in San Francisco, USA and died in 1963 Boston in USA. His full name was Robert Lee Frost was an American poet. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. So he got name and fame in England. One of the most popular and respected American poets of the 20th century, Frost received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. He was awarded 2 Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetic work. In 22 July 1961, Frost was named as laureate of Vermont. Vermont is a place in America. So, our first stanza is: two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So, once the poet was walking through a forest during autumn season, and during his journey he came across a point that the road on which he was walking diverged into two, and he could not decide that which road should he choose. The poet feels sorry because he cannot travel on both the roads. The roads would symbolize two choices in life, and the poet is finding it difficult to make a choice. So he, being a traveler, he stood there for a long time determining which way to continue traveling. As he was thinking, he noticed that one of the road bent in the trees and shrubs and finally disappeared. Our second stanza. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. So, in this stanza, after seeing that one of the road disappeared into the undergrowth, the poet decided to take the other road, as just as fair can have multiple meaning. Perhaps the poet wants to be fair and choose the correct option. Hence, selecting between two roads may portray the selection between two destinies. The poet then decides that maybe this road is better because it has fresh grass grown on it and was not used much. But when he started traveling on it, he found that travelers have passed through this road just as much as the other. We can observe how the poet quickly goes back to his statement. First, he says this road is untraveled. Then, as he walks, he finds equally traveled. Third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So here the poet is very adventurous and loves taking risk in his life. So he decides to choose second road and makes a promise to himself that when he will come back to this forest again, then he will surely choose the first road. The poet says that both the roads were covered with leaves that morning, and perhaps that morning he was the first to travel on that road, as the leaves fallen on the road had not turned black by the steps of the travelers. However, it seems that he regrets his decision, slightly wondering if he will ever get to come back and take the other road. But the poet knew that our way leads to the other way, and life is a continuously journey in which one cannot stop. So the poets doubt that will he be able to come back to the same forest again or not. Now, fourth stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less troubled by, and that has made all the difference. So, here, years from now, somewhere in the future, the poet feels that he will look back and then he decides whether the choice he made was the correct one or not. This may be indicating that making a choice out of two objectives it's responsible for our future, and that makes all the difference. Here, the poet, after many years, he will be narrating this incident with a sigh that once he was walking through a forest and he decides to take the less traveled road, and that made all the difference in his life. The choice may bring us right or wrong. He will be telling about his choice with a sigh. Here, sigh is really realizing a deep breath, compressing happiness, relief, sadness, etc. So, if the choice proves out to be right, it will be a sigh of happiness. I hope you all have understood this poem. Suppose I'll go with a very easy example. Suppose you reaches to class 11 and you wanted to choose the subject and you want to take maths as well as bio also, and you decide to go for bio, and after taking the bio subject you are in a stage of confusion whether this decision is correct or not. So in the same way, here the poet also confused which road he has to take. So this poet indicates of our about our decision, whether we took the decision right or not. And